To link the structural IFC file, let's go to the ground floor, make sure you're sitting on that level, and let's go to the layer settings, and let's make sure that we have our links layers switch on. So you can go into that and select link structure and switch that on. And click on OK. That's going to allow us to hotlink that IFC file. Next thing we're going to do is go to File, External Content, Place Hotlink. And this is the tool we're going to use to link in those external IFCs. Then we go through the process of selecting the model, for which you need to create a new module from a file, which you're going to navigate through your system of folders to locate from the resources. Then select the structural IFC. Make sure you have selected IFC file types. Select that. And then from the translator list, you want to go and select the current files translator we just built in. If it is not on the list, go to Options, and then Current Project, and locate the structural link translator. Now we have both that file located and our translator setup. So let's click on Select and select again. Now that file is going to be used to create a linked module inside our ArchiCAD working file. Next thing we're going to do is select a layer for which we have a dedicated layer, and that's going to be found under Links, Link Structure. So let's use that. We're not going to modify the orientation, but we want to align that to the survey point location. Once we have that, we got to place the hotlink. Let's click on OK. And now we get triggered the model filter that tells you which building elements are contained by that structural IFC. Notice that within this filter, we can decide whether to bring or not bring any particular items. Note that you can filter that by the element type, but also by the story. So you can select whether you want to bring in one or multiple stories, or by using a list of layers. In our case, I'm going to bring in, to start with, I'm going to bring absolutely everything, and therefore I'm not going to unclick any of the items. So let's go ahead and click on OK. The next interface will allow you to match the levels or stories in the file. And we have matching stories, and the good reason for us to do the hotlink from the ground floor is that we know that is the anchor point of the structural IFC, which is something that needs to be known beforehand. So let's make sure that these two zero story levels are matched, and click on OK. Once the file has been imported, you'll see a marquee around the contents of the file. So what we need to do from there is simply click outside, and ArchiCAD should have finished the process of bringing in that IFC. How do we confirm that? Well, let's go to the layer settings. And now you should be able to see the following. You should be able to see the link structure folder with a 10,000 number for the index of that layer. And then within that folder, you'll see the layers contained in that IFC together with the extension that we have dedicated to it. Let's now create a new layer combination. And we're going to call these 20 IFC structural. And that's going to be dedicated to show only the structural file. So we're going to keep that as it is. Those are going to be on. Then the link of the master layer for the link will be on as well. And let's go one level up. And we're going to hide pretty much everything else for now. So let's hide all the items under design, all the documentation, and viewpoints. The link will be on, but everything else will be off. So let's update that layer combination. And simply click on OK. Let me make sure that that's updated and click on OK. So now I should be able to see just the linked models inside ArchiCAD. Let's go to the 3D window and select the layer combination we just created. And that is the file you linked in a couple of minutes ago. So what you have in there is walls with the layer that was created from that IFC file. Columns in most cases. There might be cases where you end up having something like objects, which is the case of this beam, for instance. And that's given the fact that it was cut by this round column, more likely. But even though the element type is object, the classification is correct. It is a beam. And that's what you will be expected from that IFC. So with that, you're going to start building up that federation file. Now the next one will be the services file. So let's go and do another round of the same thing.